All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Get Uncomfortable. We're doing something a little new today. We're going to call it 5-Minute Friday. This one is going to be the power of protein. So what that means is we're going to talk about protein, why it's important, what it does, how much you probably should be eating versus what you are eating, and where to get it. Okay, so let's dive in. So this is going to be a quick one. I've never done a 5-minute one before. So the reason I wanted to do this is because when I start working with somebody, most of the time, the first thing that we talk about is increased protein intake, because that does a lot of different things beneficially, especially for somebody starting to work out. Most people in America get probably enough protein to avoid what they call malnourishment, so you're getting enough to handle what they call protein turnover. So proteins in the body, in the cells, are constantly being broken down and replaced. So let's get into the big picture here. Protein is important, and there's many different things you can look at, the different types of amino acids that there are, which we're going to get into. But here's the things to remember. Humans evolved eating a varied seasonal diet of a wide range of whole food sources. So all the different essential and non-essential amino acids that we have in the body, that you will get all of the things that you need if you eat a varied diet. That's one thing to remember. Typically, people who work out or are under a lot of physical stress or are recovering from being sick or a surgery may need more protein in their diet, and it can be beneficial to supplement with like whey protein. They have egg, like albumin supplements, and there's all sorts of vegetarian blends as well. But supplementing can be useful for certain scenarios. For just a general sedentary person, typically that's not necessary. Okay, I've got some notes with me here so I don't mess this up. Okay, so let's get into amino acids. We can make 12 amino acids in our body. That means we can synthesize them. These are known as non-essential amino acids. We don't need to eat them because we can make them in the body if we have enough of everything else, the building blocks. We do need to get 8 essential amino acids. We're not going to get into what all these are. You can look them up. You need to eat those in your diet. Those are essential amino acids, meaning we cannot make them in the body. And then there's the conditionally essential amino acids, which means on specific scenarios in specific people, you may need to, it's nice to have them because we can make them, but it's not always very effective. And if you're in a state of stress or recovery or repair from, like I said, being an illness or surgery, it's nice to have them on hand. Okay, so the sources of protein. Some foods that you might not think have protein in them actually do have some protein in them. So like a fist-size portion of broccoli has about 3 grams of protein. A thumb-sized portion of peanut butter has about 3 grams of protein. The average baked potato has 4 grams of protein. The average avocado has about 4 grams. And a cupped handful of quinoa has about 5 grams. So even in foods that you don't think have protein, sometimes do have protein. Now we're going to get into the list of foods that are typically classified as high protein. So things like lean meat, so beef, pork, wild game, all of that stuff. Chicken, turkey, duck, fish and seafood, eggs, dairy such as cottage cheese, or my favorite, plain Greek yogurt, none of that sugary filled shit. Protein powders, so you have whey, egg, and vegetarian blends like we talked about, beans and legumes, or tofu. So those are all pretty much like classical high protein foods. People, like when they talk about high protein foods, that's what they're going to talk about. And the goal here when you're looking for protein sources is whole, unprocessed foods. So a wide variety of whole, unprocessed foods typically. So real food first should be your motto. Don't just go right for a protein powder and never eat real food. The reason protein is so important in my eyes is because it is, especially when somebody's trying to lose weight or build muscle. So if you're trying to lose weight, protein is costly, if we're talking energy-wise, to process. So what it actually does is it raises your total daily energy expenditure, so your TDEE. And this is part of human metabolism. So it's actually going to raise your metabolism, increase your metabolism, eating more protein. So it'll help you burn more calories, and it will help you build more lean muscle tissue. Okay, so we're moving on because we just passed 5 minutes, so we're trying to speed this up here. Okay, so how much do you need in your daily diet? This varies. Like I said, the average American, typically 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight is enough to avoid malnutrition. So 1 kilogram is 2.205 pounds. That's how that breaks down. Now, there's a couple different sources here that I have in this book. The American College of Sports Medicine and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics says 1.2 to 1.7 grams of protein per kilogram of body mass. So for a 200-pound person, that would be 108 to 153 grams of protein daily. The International Society of Sports Nutrition, 1.4 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body mass. So for a 200-pound person, that would be 126 to 180 grams of protein daily. So that is a good breakdown on where you should start, especially if you're exercising. You need more than just the okay amount, right? You don't need just what's going to get you by. We would like to be optimal, especially if you're trying to build lean mass and change the way your body looks and exercise. So I would go off of those ones right there, 1.2 to 2.0 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, okay? So the reason that's so important is because, like I said, it will help you build and repair. It will increase your total daily energy expenditure, so you actually burn more calories, and it can actually help you feel really satiated as well. So if you don't know where to start on your nutrition and you're starting to work out, focus on getting a good amount of protein. I use the palm a lot if it's too much with all the numbers and everything. Basically, the size of your palm is a good place to start. So for females, 1 palm of protein, so the size and the thickness of your palm of protein, one of those per meal if you eat 4 meals per day. So 4 palms of protein per day. For men, especially if you're exercising, around 8. So you just have 2 servings. It's a lot. It's a lot more protein than most people are typically used to eating. But if you can do that, you start there, and then you can build off of that. Even if you can't get all that much, start working towards thinking about getting more protein in your daily diet, and you're going to be good to go. Okay, so we went over 5 minutes, but not too much. It's still a short episode. We're also going to cover carbohydrates and fats in another 5-minute episode of this as well. As always, if this was beneficial to you, please share this with somebody. Share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, shoot the link to a friend. Let somebody know who would benefit from this. We would greatly appreciate it, and we will talk to you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.